Hello, guys. I hope that everyone is doing extremely well. I am doing just an owl because I had a lot of people requesting a tutorial on a specific owl that I did a little while ago. So if you guys are not bored of owls yet from my channel, this one's going to be very colorful. We're going to do some dotting. And yeah, it's going to be super, super cute. I have a fairly round stone, and this is a natural Lake Superior stone. So if you can find a similar stone or even draw a circle, on a stone, you can work within that circle. Or you can use also, if you are familiar with Happy Dotting Company, they offer molds where you can make your own stones out of gypsum powder or crafter's cement and stuff like that. You can make your own perfectly round stones to work off of, and her 4 inch or her number four mold would be really good for this because it's nice and big and round. So what I've done is I've sketched on with pencil what I'm going to kind of do for my idea, and then I'm going to fill it all in with color, and I'm going to cover some of this up, but this is just to show you what it's going to look like. And it looks really funky right now, but I promise it's going to look really beautiful and colorful and sparkly and shiny when I am done. So I used a bottle of paint to make the circles for my eyes. And then I filled it in with white. It's a fairly light stone to begin with, but my eyes are going to be very bright orange and yellow and red. So I want to make sure I have a nice bright base coat to start with so that those colors stand out very much. And you can see I just covered up all of my beautiful feathers that I drew on with pencil. But that was just to show you that that's kind of what it's going to be like. And you'll see as I get to that area. But I'm going to do this in certain steps because I do have to let like certain things dry, and then I can go back to them and work on them. So now he is going to be a nice teal color. So I'm just putting a nice thick layer on there. I am going to be using some sponges to blend in a lighter color and to smooth out any paint lines that I might have. I do like paint lines. Don't get me wrong. You've probably heard me say before, I can't stand them. But I do. It just depends on what I'm painting. Like if it's flowers or something, the brush strokes can actually help with the texture and the look of the flowers. Or animal fur, stuff like that. But in certain things, I don't like those brush strokes there, so I smudge them all out with a sponge. So I hope you guys understand. I'm not being I'm not favoring anything. I do like both. So I'm gonna put some jungle green on top of this teal. I'm using a Martha Stewart sponge, and I'm just lightening. I'm not going all the way out to the edge. I'm keeping the edge dark. And we're not even going to see around the eye area very soon. So I'm not really worried about that part. But I'm doing the ear parts for the owl. And I'm sponging that all in and blending it in so that it just kind of smoothly goes from that lighter color to the darker color. And I'm leaving the natural stone for the little area on the right part of the stone at the bottom. I'm leaving it natural. You can utilize the look of your natural stone for parts of your owl. So it's really cool. You can just kind of work it in there with it. And I do like it will change a little bit once I resin this. So you will be able to see the colors in the stone a little bit better. But you'll understand. I like to keep that area free. I don't want to cover it all up. But you'll understand soon. So I'm going to make his schnoz, his schnoz, his beak. My son has actually called like the dog's snout a beak before, and it just makes me laugh so hard. But he calls everything a snout, even Even on people, they have a snout. It's right under their nose. That's their snout. uh, he's learning. We're correcting him as we go along, gently. So I'm doing some orange now that the white is dry in the eyes. I'm blending in some yellow, then orange, and then I'm going to put red at the top. So it's going to gradually go from saffron yellow to pure pumpkin orange. And you got to use different sponges for every color. So make sure you don't use the same sponge for your yellow that you use for your red, because then it's just not going to look good. Use a separate sponge for your red for sure. You can get away with doing the yellow and the orange with one sponge as long as you start yellow first on both eyes and then blend in the orange quickly while the yellow is still wet. But it is recommended to use a different sponge for each color. Just a little tip from me. I'm trying to get a video together to show you my new house, or parts of it, at least the parts that I have ready enough to share with people. Because of the C word, that really horrible pandemic situation that we're having. I haven't had anybody at my house. Nobody's seen it. And my husband and I have just been slowly working away at different areas and getting stuff done and purchasing furniture and stuff like that. But we're still working on it. Mostly just the upper floor so far has been done. And we're working on the rec room downstairs. And that's where my office is, where I have my Cricut, and I have like all my extra rocks, and that's where I dry my rocks when they've been resined, and just, yeah, all my packing supplies to send and ship out all of my stuff, and printer paper and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, so soon I'm going to be sharing some videos of my house with you guys. Just little bits and pieces, and because you guys have been there with me for a while now, and you deserve to know what's going on in my life. I'd love to share it with you. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming very, very soon. And I will have some Christmas tutorials coming out over the next couple days. I've been so busy, but I'm trying to get some Christmas ones out for you guys in the next week. All right. All right. So as you can see, I did outline the eyeball in black. And now I'm wisping on with my fine lining brush just some white. And try not to go right into the eye with your white. But if you do, don't worry. We're going to go back and outline that with black again. Anyway, it's not going to be a huge concern. Just try not to get too much white on that beautiful sunset eye that we have done. That's what I like to call this. When I'm done with him, he kind of looks like he's got like little sunset colored aviators on, which, you know, maybe that will help somebody paint theirs a little bit differently. Who knows? Maybe I'm inspiring you. I hope I am in some way. So I'm just doing little flicks with my paintbrush and some white paint around the eyeballs. This little wing here, if you've seen my quiet little owl tutorial, if you haven't, I'll link it in the description. Wink, wink. And it usually hides the little front part of the beak because he's quiet. So this is a quiet, colorful owl. If you've seen my quiet owl tutorial, you know what he looks like. And this is similar, only very brightly colored. And there's going to be some dotting and a few differences, but I love owls. I have a very large owl tattoo on my left arm, and I love owls. So I do like to paint them every now and then. And if I'm going to paint one, I may as well share it with you guys, right? So I have re-outlined the sunset eyeball. And now I'm using a dotting tool, and I'm putting like little beads of black around the eye. And that's actually going to have a little bit of gold on it afterwards. And then I'm going to be adding some flat back crystals to those things as well. So it's going to be colorful and it's going to be sparkly. So I'm pretty happy about that. So you might notice some of my dots aren't totally, they're not completely perfect. Some of them aren't spaced properly, whatever. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. And I don't want you to either. Don't stress. This is supposed to be fun, right? Art is supposed to be fun and therapeutic, and it's something you want to go back to, something you have a hard time, shoot, did I forget to cook supper for you guys today? Jeez. I want not all the time. I don't want it to be like that all the time, but I do want you to enjoy it and just pour yourself into it and have fun. Don't stress, don't worry. Anything you create is going to be magical, and you have to just enjoy it. Too many people stress. Now, I did put a little bit of shimmer powder on the eyeballs. You don't have to. It's kind of like eyeshadow. It's actually for nails. It's like a chrome powder, and it's got like I guess like a goldish green tinge to it. And it just gives the eyes a little bit of sparkle, not too much. There's not big chunks of glitter. It's just like a very fine shine to it. And it'll stand out a little bit more once it's been sealed with resin. So keep that in mind as well. Now I am outlining everything in gold. Don't go near those eyeballs anymore. Keep those the way they are. Let the black dry. I like to call those little beads, those little dots that are around the eyes. So I'm going to use a little bit of Mod Podge, and I have to put it on the eye area to keep that glitter in place so it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't like travel across the rock onto other places. I want to keep the glitter in place, and this, I just use it as a glue. I'm going to let it dry and work on the eyes a little bit more afterwards, because we're going to turn these little aviator glasses into eyes. So, and that's where sponges come in. Sponges are amazing. I'm going to use a Martha Stewart sponge again to make like the little owl pupils. And I'm going to give you guys a heads up. Even I have not been diagnosed with OCD. As far as I know, I don't have it. And anyone who does is probably not going to like when I put the catch lights in his eyes, because they're not perfect and one's a bit off. But I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. So if it bothers you, please skip past that part. I am giving you a heads up so that you don't get triggered. So I am adding some little gold beads to the black. I'm going to still see the black though. I'm just putting the gold inside. So keep that little black area noticeable. Just do your gold dot smaller than the black dot. That's all. Gonna let that dry as well, and we will go back to that later after I resin, after I've cured it for a few hours. I put my crystals on about 8 hours after I've resined, because it's the perfect stickiness and they won't like travel anywhere. So yeah, it's just safer to do it that way, or you can resin over top of your crystals and just use Mod Podge to glue your crystals onto the gold dots, and then resin over top, and it will hold those crystals in place forever. However, you will lose the facets on your crystals if you resin over top. But if you plan on putting a rock outside, make sure you resin over top so that birds and squirrels and large insects can't pick off those sparkly bits and choke on them. You don't want that to happen. But yeah, if you're keeping it inside, it's fine to put your crystals over top of the sealant, as long as you put them on while it's still very sticky. So you see the like little fish scales that I did on the right side there. I'm just doing gold and black on the right side over top of that natural stone color. And you'll see that a little bit better very soon. And I've separated all my feathers in gold. And now I'm just kind of lining everything in black and cleaning up my gold, making sure it's not too thick anywhere. These are all going to be feathers, and they're going to be dotted in like a rainbow of chakra colors or rainbow colors, whatever you want to call it. You decide. If you want to do teal feathers, you can do like a gradient from white to dark in teal. See, here's these catch lights here. Oh, they're off. Oh, yeah, I'm bothered by it. Watching it back, it bothers me. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It looks funny. But yeah, I just brought him to life a little bit. Your catch lights don't have to be off like mine. How about that? You get to do it differently. But there's no change in this now. I'm erasing all of my little pencil marks where I put those little feathers there, because this is going to be left natural. And I'm just underlining where I did the gold little feathers. I call them fish scales, mermaid scales, but they're feathers. This side, he isn't covering up with a wing. So this is what the rest of his body looks like. Just use your imagination, you guys. It's been a long week. I had 2 kids home for 2 days this week because of a cough. Nothing else, just a cough. But I'm being safe and I'm making sure that no other symptoms come out. I don't want to risk sending my kids to school because it's a scary time. So yeah, I have not been able to do too much with them being home and I'm very blessed. My children are very healthy and strong and happy, but the healthy and strong part makes them hyper and argumentative when they're home. So yeah, I have not had much time. So there will be more tutorials coming out very, very soon. And I wish I could have had this one out for my American friends who celebrated Thanksgiving. I wish I could have had this out for you a little sooner, but hopefully you're able to spend some time on Sunday and sit down and paint with me. But yeah, so my wing, I'm going to start at the bottom. It's like I said, going to be like chakra colors or a rainbow. I'm going to start with all red dots at the bottom. I'm going to move to orange, then yellow, then green, then like a teal color, then blue, then purple. And it's going to look fantastic when it's done. Like I said, you can choose whatever colors you want if you prefer. You could do like shades of purple, or you can do each feather a different color instead of just doing a gradient up the feathers and each feather is a rainbow. You can just do like the first feather red and then the second feather orange, next feather yellow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not going to bore you with the rest. But yeah, basically I'm just dotting it all to heck. And no, I don't actually move my hands this fast. I have sped this video up so that this doesn't end up being a day-long tutorial. So I just want to thank all of my subscribers. I feel like I have not put out enough for you guys this past month. But I'm going to be working on some really, really nice ones. So just to tell you how much I love you, if anyone has sent me any kind of donation through PayPal, my family and I want to thank you. I don't know what I would do without you guys. You know what I mean? It has been a rough year, and I honestly mean it from the bottom of my heart when I say that we thank you. My kids thank you. My son just turned 16 on the 26th, and it was because of you that I was able to slip my son quite the chunk of cash for his birthday. So thank you to anyone who is supportive of my channel, to anyone who hits the like button, to anyone who shares it with their family and friends or over their Facebook or whatever. If you are just mentioning my name, thank you. You're helping me in some way or another. I won't diminish or vanish off of YouTube. I will keep being here. I will keep doing this for you guys. So thank you. It's not just the PayPal donation. It's the like, it's the comment. It's even the dislike. So I know it bothers me when I see those thumbs down and it's like, man, is it the glitter? Like, is it too much? But those dislikes actually don't bother me that much because it means somebody sat there and watched my video. It means I got a view. It means they took the time to find the thumbs down and click it. So, and they somehow saw my video. That's also really, really cool. So each and every one of you, thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for painting with me. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And 2021 is going to be an amazing year for all of us. And we're going to get stronger and smarter and funnier and more creative. And we're all going to get through this together. So I love you. And while I was dotting, all boring, I just wanted to take that moment to make sure I poured my heart onto your laps for just a moment. You guys do mean the world to me and my family, so don't ever forget that. If I don't get around to commenting back or sending an email to respond to a picture that you send to me, I see those, okay? I see those. And in my darkest times, I go to those and I smile and I cry about your stories. And I think, wow, what an amazing freaking thing I've got here where I get to hear so much and learn so much and meet so many great people from all over the world. Not very many people get to do this. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being here right now. So there, all my mushiness is gone. Back to artwork. Purple. That's the color there. I topped it off with purple because my rock is so like circular. You can't really see the rainbow underneath, but I promise I'll show it to you a little bit later. It's just because of the way my rock is sitting that you can't see all that color, but I had to top it off with purple because that is my color. You could top it off with pink if you want. I was going to add some magenta at the very top, but I held back. I just kept it with purple there. So you can see his eyes are nice and dry. That gold around the eyes are nice and dry. Everything needs to be very dry before you try to seal it, or things happen. Ugly things happen if you try to do any kind of sealing with a wet stone. And fortunately, I use acrylic paint, and it takes not very long to dry. But I don't recommend using any kind of oil-based paints or oil paint on stones. It's not going to stay. You're not going to be able to seal it properly, and it's not going to work out for you. Now we are ready for resin. Looks pretty cute. So here, I'm trying not to show it to you too much, but I'm adding the crystals after my resin has been on it for about 8 hours. So I'm just adding some flat back crystals that I purchased from the pinkchair.ca. If you visit the pinkchair.ca and you want crystals or any kind of nail glitter, don't forget to use my discount code Rachel Mitchell. Look at this. Look at it. Ooh, you even get to see some of my living room. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Very shiny. Wait a minute. He will look better in front of my tree. I'm being a show off now. But yeah, you can see very colorful, very, very shiny, very sparkly. You can't see the sparkle on those crystals well enough, in my opinion. No picture or video does it justice. It looks beautiful. the dotted wings look magnificent, all shiny and soft. This is going to look beautiful on someone's shelf or desk. I love you guys. Don't ever forget that. Keep painting, keep going. I love you. See you soon. Bye.